up, mi gente? Welcome to another episode of Night Rise Podcast, where we bring you the 411 on all this wicked stuff going out there. And man, it's been because I was here at the end of the week last week, so it's been a short week for me to do this new episode. But work is kind of busy, so whatever time I get to come to the studio, I'm gonna take advantage of it and come up here and talk about the nonsense that happened over the weekend. And I got my little hefty notes right here. First page, my daughter drew on that page. So it has been a little crazy out there. I mean, since the last time I was here, we had a lot of more school shootings. Not just school shootings, but then there's 2 church shootings and stuff. So this last one, it was a church shooting. It was I didn't get a good name on the guys who caused it and stuff. But man, honestly, I feel like I don't want to say it's a left or right thing, but I feel like they're trying to come after our Second Amendment. Now I don't know about you guys and stuff, but I just started buying like rifles and stuff to go hunting and try something new, because growing up I never did all that, so I'm just trying something new. So I just started using my Second Amendment, so I'm kind of enjoying all that. But honestly, man, after seeing all these shootings, and then when I did the research on the school shootings, man, myself, I think we need to raise gun age, because I was seeing that it was for any type of pistols. I couldn't remember rifles, but any type of pistols, it was at least 21 years of age. Knives and all the other stuff is 18 years of age. So I was just like, man, in my mind, I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to this growing up, but in my now, looking at it now, and I'm just like, man, we are very young to be handling stuff like that, because a person's mind doesn't evolve perfectly until they're 30 years old. So I was just like, man, we need to not change the gun laws, but we need to just raise up the age requirement for it, because this is why I'm thinking that we have all these kids blowing up or shooting up the schools, because they're so easily to get a gun. All they had to do is just wait a couple of years, and then they can go and buy a gun like going buy beer. So I that's one thing I need to just, hopefully we could get that worked out. But gun laws, that's one thing I would change. I don't think we should change anything, even though it's very, very dangerous equipment. So, but speaking of guns and stuff, all this shootings and stuff, this a singer by the name of David. I didn't get his last name or anything. So, but he's being questioned, or he's been allegedly taken in but he's been a suspect on this death of Celeste Rivas. She was a 14-year-old. She was found 14. She was a young girl who was found on one of his vehicles in an impound lot in somewhere around Hollywood. She was dismantled, brutal, cut into pieces, and it was a girl that was missing for over a year. So they found her recently, and they found it on the singer's song. This is a young kid. He's 20 years old, and he's an upcoming star. I think he already made a couple songs with 21 Savage and stuff. So he's an up and coming little kid. But when I was reading into it, I saw a couple red flags to me that caught my attention, and I was just like, man, this should have been like caught from way before she went missing. So one, obviously, this guy is 20, but apparently when he was, I want to say 18, he was already talking to this girl. And so she was 14, so when it's 12, 13, 12, they were already talking, like trying to get into a relationship. So that to me was a red flag. That should have been like, well, I understand they're still in the teens, but this dude's 18 talking to a 12-year-old. Like, that should have caught the parents' red flag and should have spoken, or something should have been brought up. But I'm guessing it was one of those parents that try to be cool or something, let her be free or something. But if you give the child a little too much freedom, they take advantage of it, and they start doing whatever they want to do. Point taken on the next red flag is she was reported missing 4 times last year in 2024. The last time was that she was reported missing was in April 2024, and that's when she went completely missing. So if you think about it, she was reported missing 4 times. The last time was in April that she was 100% gone. So April, is the 4th month of the year. So what, she's been once a month gone missing? Like, how does that didn't make no sense to me. Like, how is that? She's gone missing 4 times in a year, and then in April she finally disappears. That was another red flag for me that I was just like, we got to pay attention. We got to pay more attention to these kids, man. That's probably another reason why we're having all these school shootings as well, because I'm not 100% sure, but from 2018 to now, when I've seen school shootings and stuff, it's always those kids that look like nobody paid attention to them. I'm just assuming. I'm not saying that's what I'm just assuming from all the the history that we've gone through. I'm assuming it's kids that just nobody's paying attention to them or don't take them lightly or anything. So, just if you're one of those kids that kind of just, show some respect and stuff, every now and then just bump into them, or not bump into them, but like, just, ask them how to, just bring up a conversation to them or stuff. You don't have to, if you don't want to be friends with the kid and stuff, you don't got to be friends, but at least make them feel like they're a person, like they're there. That, I remember in high school, some kid, he struggled walking. He couldn't remember, can't remember. He couldn't bend his knees. Can't talk right now. He couldn't bend his knees for some reason. I never asked him why or anything, but I remember some kids were picking on him and stuff, and they had dropped his keys. I think it was his house keys or something, bottom of the stairways, and I was just like, come on, man. So I went and got the keys for him, and I gave him, helped him out, helped the guy out, and he thanked me and everything. And I was just like, yeah, no problem, man. But I ain't paying no nothing or anything. But I was just like, come on, guys, yeah. In a way, I guess they were bullying them, if you want to say that. But I guess I wasn't paying attention at that time. I didn't think about it right now. Yeah, they probably were bullying the guy, and I didn't even realize it at the moment. So. But, it's one of those things that you kind of want to do, you just step in and take care of people, because, he's just another human being. It was not his fault that it happened. Maybe he was born with an issue or something. So it's one of those things that we just got to, just can't make fun of. It's just one of those kids that happen. But anyways, back to, Celeste. So another red flag that caught my attention was the fact that she was found on September 8th. And they found her in the impound. The car was taken because they had parked the car somewhere in some street in Hollywood, and they wouldn't claim it. I think it was a week or two. 4 days I think was out there the most, and so nobody came. So the impound came in and impounded it, and it was there for a couple of days, and then there was reports that they started having a weird smell, foul smell. So obviously the cops were called, and they came in and they checked, and they found a body, and it was all chopped up to pieces. My thing was, if she was missing from April of 2024 and they just found the smell, they couldn't take the smell of September of 2025. Wouldn't the smell be gone by now? Because if you think about it, like if you see an animal get ran over or something, and you see it laying in the road, and you drive by every day, and the first 2 days you don't smell anything, but about the 3rd or 4th day, that's when you start smelling something. So it's like, how was it that the smell or something didn't attract people right away? How was it? So in my mind, I'm like, this girl, she was probably kidnapped, taken advantage of. Whatever happened to her happened. They finally did. I don't know 100% what about it. From when I watched Rambo, the last one, it showed how they kidnapped these girls. They drug them and stuff. And once they give them they drug them and drug them throughout the day so that they're not aware of what's happening to them. And then once they finally die out, they get rid of the body. I'm guessing they chop it up, put it in bags, and throw it out. Some people say they throw them in acids. From what I heard from one of my cousins in Mexico, they tell me when that happens, they throw them in acid. I guess so the flesh will burn off, and all you have is bones, and so you just throw the bones out. My uncle told me he found, when he goes out into his property, he has found a couple bodies just thrown out there. And that's not from our same village. This is people from different villages. So they scatter all around. That's one thing that I was told about this. So that was my thing is, so how was it that the smell was just now attractive if she's been missing for a whole year? So that's what I'm like, this girl, she was kidnapped. I firmly believe she was kidnapped, and they did whatever to her. She was drugged. Her body didn't make it. Then so it wouldn't track back to them. I'm not trying to say that the singer is innocent or anything. I'm just going conclusion from what my mind is going on. I'm not a full investigator or anything. This is just what I'm piecing together in my mind and what I feel is happening right now. So it won't track back to them. I'm assuming they kidnapped the kid's car, because why would he just park it somewhere? I did read that he was renting a house because he knew he was going to go on tour soon. So he just rented out a house. And so the car was found a block, 2 blocks from the house that he was renting. No. When they found the car, then they found it was tagged to him. Then the cops got a search warrant to go to the house where he was staying. Okay, my bad. I got that backwards. I got that mistaken. But yeah, so they got a warrant to search his house. No evidence was found or anything. He canceled the kid canceled all his tours. He has returned to California for questioning. He's being cooperative. From what I read, he's being cooperative. He's answering with the police and stuff. I firmly believe he's innocent. I just firmly believe that they kidnapped the girl. Like I said, did whatever they had to do with her. Once she was, body gave out, they did what they did, and they put it on his car and framed him for it. That's what I'm assuming, right? So now he's got to go through all this, because one thing I did read is that they were having, issues and stuff. They were going back. It was like an on and off type relationship. But I mean, obviously, you're going to have that type of issues if you're a singer, because you're coming up singing. You got to go out on tours. You got to go out and do things. So you're not always going to be there. And then that's one of the things that girls want, especially that young. All they want is for you to be there with them and show that you not just love, but you want to be there with them. That's why that's why I understand why guys can go for young girls, because these older girls, they ain't like that. They'll tell you, go handle your business, because they know business means business. So that right there was just, to me, it was a kind of red flag, man. And so hopefully it goes good for the kid and all, but that's just what I think happened. She was kidnapped, and then they did whatever, and then took advantage, and then now they're framing the kid. I hope he beats the case. I'm sure he's going to go to court for this, but I hope he beats it, and we'll see what happens. I may be wrong, though. He might have been involved. Maybe he got mad, and he just, because nowadays you can't really trust anybody now. So we're going to find out in the future coming. I'll keep y'all updated on that one. My next topic, Houston. If you're from Houston, you got to watch out right now. I think there is, when I was reading articles about this, but the cops are saying there's no connection or anything, but I think there is a serial killer out there. They have found 15 bodies in total at the Houston Bayo. I'm not 100% sure where that was. I didn't even bother to look, honestly. But 6 were found in the last 2 weeks. I did read that it was two boys, and the other bodies have not been identified. And the cops, I think I had one of them. I saw that they weren't going to release any information due to the parents wanting confidential. which you can respect that. So what I was getting, man, is just it's crazy. And we didn't think it's 2025, and I never thought that I would live to see something like this. I thought it was done with, I thought the last one was 30 years ago with Jeffrey Dahmer, but apparently there's still people out there, I guess, with really mental issues, like really bad. So we just got to watch out for all these people. We got to learn how to deal with people's problems a lot better than how we're dealing with them now. I just saw earlier today, I saw a video where some college kids, they were trying to do the Charlie thing, go sit down and argue with other students. Well, debate with other students and stuff. But what provoked the other students is that they're wearing, MAGA hats. They put DEI is racist. And then they had a sign that said, deport all illegals now. If you come that strong, obviously you're going to get a strong reaction. I don't think Charlie ever came that strong. He just wears a shirt, little cargo pants or something. He never came that strong. So yeah, if you're gonna come that strong, you're gonna get a strong reaction like that. But that's what I'm trying to say, man. Is you're dealing with people's feelings in a way, and so if you come out strong like that, people are gonna react strong at that because I'm guessing they're going off of your vibe and stuff. And so that's what comparing this to killing, because there's no motive. Like I said, cops believe that there's no connection with these bodies. They say that people drown, something happen, or I feel like they're making excuses and not trying to. But at the same time, you're a cop. You're responsible, and it's Houston, one of the biggest cities in Texas. So you're responsible for a lot of, I don't know, from the top of my head, I don't know the population for Houston, but I know it's a lot. So you're responsible for that. And so your biggest main thing is you really don't want to scare the people, making them believe that there's somebody out there in the streets at night just killing people for no reason, male or female, doesn't matter. So it's like, whoa, I kind of understand that too. I kind of understand that they don't want to scare the people, but you can't just say there's no connection or something. You got to give the people something, man. You got to give them something, at least a curfew or something. Let them be aware, right? So that they know that, hey, there's somebody out there that's doing something. Please be cautioned at night. So, but yeah, if you're in Houston, you just watch out for that. If there's somebody following you or something, if there's a house or a car nearby, get in there and call 911 right away, because that's the only way we can find this. I'm feeling that's the only way we can find this. But the other topic I kind of want to get into is about, I know the last two episodes I'll talk about Charlie, but today I'm going to talk about Miss Erica, his wife, Erica Kirk. I really, like I said, it's too soon. On my last episode, I said it's too soon for these conspiracies and stuff. And now there's people out there that's gaining up on Miss Erica Kirk. They're saying that she was part of the murder and stuff, that she's somehow was involved, and because she came out on his episode recently and she was smiling and telling the plans and stuff, and she had the memorial service was a couple of days ago, and they're saying that how is it that she was able to mourn this quickly, right? Excuse me. So it's like, when I read that, I busted out laughing, man. I was just like, are these people serious? Like, are they really serious? They really believe this type of stuff? Like, when you do podcasts, you're in front of a camera. You're in front of people. You're in front, and then you're knowing you're going to get put on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere. You're going to get put out there for the whole world to see. And you're trying to give out she was trying to give out a spark. And she was trying to say, that what had happened to her husband is not going to end. Turning Point USA is still going to continue. They were going to continue with their tour dates. Like, like he had planned. They were gonna continue with these debates in college, like he had planned. She was saying that he has so much planned out for all the way to 2030, and she was gonna continue all the way. That she was gonna find a way to get through it, but she was gonna get through it. So I'm like, how are people assuming that just because she's coming out and taking basically, she took over the company, and she's just because she's not crying anymore. She cried 2 weeks ago and expressed, how her feelings and stuff. But now you're mad because she's still not crying. Now she's up in front of a camera and showing you her real strength. Now you want to be mad and saying she had to be part of it because she's not crying. Like when the camera's off and she's on her way home or something, I'm sure she's still sad about it, shedding some tears or something. My mom I remember when my dad first passed away, my mom at nights, she still would shed some tears. But during the day when she had to go to work, she was putting a smile and stuff. She was facing the world like nothing had happened to her. Real strong. And that's what I see with Miss Erica. Real strong. She's still going out to the world like nothing happened. And that's what she's doing. I'm not understanding why people are going after her because she's just smiling at a show. What do you want her to be depressed all day like you are? No, man. She's got a company she's got to run, and she's got 2 kids that she's got to show that they didn't break her. Whatever happened, they didn't break her. I know there's so many rumors. If you watch Candace Owens, she's out here exposing all these stuff. It's good to watch, but like I said, man, in my mind, I think it's just still too early with these conspiracies. I think we should just let them grieve or whatever, however they deal with it. Let them pass. I would say at least give it 6 to 8 months. Then we could come out and say, oh, this happened and stuff, and it was a conspiracy, this and this. And then it's okay for that. But for right now, it's too soon. I know I saw a video of some guy saying that Charlie was shot from the ground, and not from someone on the roof. He was shot because there was a hole or something right in front of him. But I'm just like, how is that? So what, like, out of all the people that are really close right there to see anything, they're just magically not going to see someone pop out from the ground and shoot them and then go back in the ground? Like, come on, man, make it make sense. That don't make no kind of sense at all. But yeah, so she came out talking about her plans that Charlie had made, and she was explaining that she was going to continue through all those plans and stuff. And obviously she was smiling through much. She was joking and stuff. She had mentioned that her daughter, he always gives him a doll and he will always put it up front, and that's what she did. And so people are blasting her, saying that she was part of it because of that. So that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, honestly, because you don't know what she's going through. You don't know what she's in mind. You don't even know when she was preparing for the video if she maybe shed a tear or something. It was hard for her or something. So we just let her be, man. Just let her be. Whatever you believe, just keep it to yourself, man. Because at the end of the day, she's still a mom of 2 kids, and she's not gonna. Obviously, I don't think she should break or anything, but she's not gonna let herself get taken like that in front of her kids or something. So. But yeah, that's all I had planned out really for this episode. So I'll catch you guys on the next episode, and hopefully I'll keep y'all updated on Mr. David. Like I said, hopefully it goes good for him. But that's my belief that he was set up. But we'll see what happens. And thank you guys if y'all watched it all the way through. Thank y'all, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.